Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to create your own custom self-grading quiz in Microsoft Forms. Now there are lots of ways you can get into Microsoft Forms, but I find one of the easiest ways for us to do it in our school system is to go ahead and log into your Office 365 account or your Outlook account. It doesn't matter, any Microsoft product, and you get this waffle in the corner. If you click on the waffle in the corner, you'll see that Forms is one of the choices you have. Click on Forms. Microsoft gives you a lot of great templates for different types of forms that you can use, but today we're focusing on quiz, so we're going to choose this template that they already have made for a new quiz. I'm just going to click on New Quiz, and I'm right in my template. I click in this Untitled Quiz field, and I give it a title. I'm going to call this My Great Quiz. I can insert a picture in here to jazz it up, make it a little more graphically friendly, especially for some of our younger students. An image search is pretty easy. You could just put in quiz and hit search, and then I might choose this and add the image. I can upload a file from my OneDrive. I can also upload a file directly from my computer. So this opens up my files on my computer, and I'm going to navigate to my picture folder, and I'm going to choose a picture of me at Cloudland Canyon. Oh no, it says it's too big. I have to have a smaller picture. So a lot of the photos that you'll take on your phone or that you may have on your computer already might be too big. So I just opened my image up in Paint and made it smaller and saved it as a JPEG, which is a smaller file. And so I'm going to hit try again, and I'm going to navigate to that file instead. And I'm going to select that file and choose open. And there it is. I can put in alternative text for people who may not see the picture. I can delete the picture if I choose not to have it. But I'm happy with it. I like it. I'm going to enter a description. I'm going to keep it really simple and say this quiz will test your knowledge. And I'm ready to start adding things. I click on Add New. I have multiple question types that I can choose, and I'll get into showing you each of those. There are some more options here with some additional types. You can also upload a file that has a ready-made quiz. We're going to stay away from that for right now. I can also create sections, so I can maybe put all of my multiple choice questions in one section, and then I can have a section that's extended response. And this can be useful if you just want to organize your quiz a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and add a section so you can see how to do that. And I'm going to call this multiple choice, and I'll enter a description. Please choose your best response. And I can put a picture in here if I want. Let's go ahead and add one from the internet. We'll search for multiple choice and we'll insert this picture. I can click on it and choose add or double click. And there we go. And again, you have some editing options. You can go large, small, you can have alternative text, and you can delete. And now I'm ready to add a multiple choice question to this section. So I click on add new. I'm going to choose choice, and I put in the question. What is 2 times 3? And again, I can add a picture. So especially for younger students that are just learning this skill, I might want to insert a picture that explains this a little more. So I'm going to choose image. This time I am going to upload one that I have on my computer already. And I have this picture that gives them an illustration of the problem. I put in option 1, and I can just put answers in here. I could say 6, 5, whatever. Or I can restate the question. 2 times 3 equals 5. That way, in case they add it. 2 times 3 equals 6. And that's just 2 options. I think I would like to give them another option. I'm going to add an option. 2 times 3 equals 7. And 2 times 3. 2 times 3 equals 23, in case they just put the 2 numbers next to each other. Now I have to tell it which one is the correct answer. And by the way, I can delete any choice that I don't like. I'm going to say that 2 times 3 is the correct choice by clicking this check mark. I can actually put in a comment that will pop up if somebody chooses this. Like maybe this is one that they're going to get immediate feedback. I could put in a comment that says, think again, or something like that. I can also rearrange my choices. You see these little dots here. Let's say I think I want 2 times 3 equals 23 to be a little higher up. I'm going to click it and drag it and put it here. And of course I can delete, and I can add additional questions. I can also determine whether this question is required, and yes, this one is. I can choose to allow multiple answers. So perhaps I'm asking a question like, what are the best 2 choices for this question? And I can allow them to choose 2 instead of just 1. I can assign points. I can say it's worth 1 point. You can, if it's a 10-question quiz and you like to assign it as 10 points so that it's an even 100%, you can do that, although it will calculate the percentage anyway. But I'm just going to say 1 point, and I'm ready to add my next question. So I'm going to add another question. And I know I said this section was all multiple choice, but for the sake of time, I'm going to show you some others. Obviously, you can do a text response. Why is that the answer? Or you could just say, explain your answer. And this, as you see, there's nothing to do here. This is just going to be a text box that they will answer. And you can actually add a correct answer here. The problem is if the kids don't type it the same way, it won't see it as a correct answer. So this can be useful if it's a simple like yes or no or something like that where they're all going to type it the same way, but this can become problematic. And again, you can assign your point value and you can add a picture. And I'm going to go ahead and add new. And I'm going to give a rating. I'm going to say, how comfortable do you feel with multiplication? And again, this isn't one that can be graded. It's an opinion. Oh, and I can, of course, insert a picture. You can choose between the symbol. You can do stars or you can do numbers. So you could say on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable do you feel with this? For the younger kids, they really like the stars. It's quite easy. You can also choose how many from 1 through 10. So I can say, on a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 5, or, on a 5-star system. I'm going to leave it at 5 stars. And again, I can assign point value to it and say whether it's required or not. And here's a little helpful feature. You can copy a question. So for example, this one where I've pasted in the picture of the dogs, I might want to copy that question so that I don't have to keep typing it in each time. So you just click that and it gives you an additional question down below. All right, now I'm going to add a new section. And we're going to call this one extended response. And here's where I would add additional questions. Likert scale is similar to a 5-star rating. It's, how comfortable do you feel, or anything where you've got these different options. So we'll say, how often do you practice your math facts? And here's where I can put in my options. I can say once a day, and they give you some suggestions up here that you can click. Once a week, once a month, once a year, never. And I can delete responses. If I just want to give, once a day, once a week, once a month, and not have these, I can delete them. I can also add more if I need them. I can make multiple statements here. So I could say on weekdays, on weekends. I can add more statements, or I can delete statements and have it be just a single statement. And again, I can assign points, and I can say whether it's required or not. A date question, I could type in what day was the Declaration of Independence signed, and then this gives them a date field and a calendar that they can enter from. I can give a ranking. Please place the following statements in order, and then you would put your statements in here. And that's pretty much it for entering the questions. You can also rearrange questions. Maybe I want to ask them how comfortable they feel with multiplication first before I actually start making them do multiplication. So I'm going to move this one to the top. Right now it's question number 3. If I click this arrow, now it's question number 2. If I click it again, now it's question 1. It makes a lot more sense to start with that question. I can put a theme on my quiz. I think I like this one. And you see it gives it a nice background. I can preview. You can see what it's going to look like for the children. You can even click in boxes and see how the answers would look. Hit next to see your next section. Previewing it is a really good idea, and now I click back. You have some great options over here that you should look at, the 3 dots here, and then choose settings. So you can show the results automatically. So as soon as someone is finished with the quiz and they hit submit, it's going to give them their results and let them know what they got right and wrong. Who can take the quiz? If you're doing a survey or something like that for the parents, you might want to let anyone with the link respond. But if you want this to be a grading quiz that you're going to then put in the grade book, you want to set it for only people in my organization can respond, and you want to check record name and only one respond person. So that way you will see whose quiz it is, which if you're going to assign them a grade, you're going to need to know that, and you want them to only answer once. Options for responses. You can have a quiz stop accepting responses. For example, if everybody's taken the quiz that you want to have take it, you can just remove that and it will no longer continue to accept responses. You can have a start date and an end date. That's kind of like a testing window that they can only take this quiz within that window. You can choose to have the questions shuffled. Because of the way that I've created my quiz with sections and such, I can't really shuffle the questions. You can have a thank you message, thank you for submitting this quiz. You'll get your score in a day or two, or whatever you want to say. You can have it send an email receipt to respondent saying in their mail, you've got your quiz. Yes, you did submit it. You can also get email notifications every time somebody responds, which there are pluses and minuses to that. If this is a quiz that you're going to leave open for a while and kids might be taking it, a week or two later, and you're afraid you're going to miss the fact that somebody has responded to it, you should probably do that. But if it's a quiz that you're going to have them take all right away, you don't want to get 26, 30 emails saying that the kids have taken the quiz. But this is where these settings are. Now you're ready to share it. You simply click on share. This first one, only people within my organization can respond. I just click on copy, and the link is copied, and I'm going to put that into a Google Classroom assignment in just a moment. I can also get a link to a duplicate of my quiz. So if I want to share this with a grade level team member, but they're going to maybe customize it or assign it to their students, and I don't want their responses to come here. In other words, anyone who clicks on this link and takes this quiz, their responses are going to show up in my quiz. So I want to make sure a colleague does their own separate quiz so that their responses show up in their quiz. So this is where you would do that. You can get a link to a duplicate right here. You can also share to collaborate, and that's if, let's say, you and I are going to work on a quiz together, and I say, okay, I'll do the multiple choice questions, and you do the extended response questions. If I choose this link, then we can both work on the same quiz at the same time. And it's really just a question of which link I share. But I'm going to make sure I'm sharing the one where kids are going to take the quiz. I click copy. And now I'm going to go over to my Google Classroom. I want to make sure I'm signed into my work account. All right, I want to go into Google Classrooms. I'm going to click on the waffle, and I'm going to go to Classroom. I'm going to open up my class, and I'm ready to share my quiz link. I can put in here in announcements, take this quiz today, please. And then I just right-click and choose Paste. And when I hit Post, you see there it says take this quiz, and it's a link straight to your quiz. If I click on that, it's going to open my quiz. Okay, and then I can also put it in as a classwork assignment. I'm just going to create assignment, give it a title, quiz for multiplication. Please take this quiz. And then I just click add link, and I simply right click and paste my link in here. And I say add link. And of course I have to assign this to my students, and there's a separate video about Google Classrooms for how to create assignments. So I'll let you refer to that to assign it. But it's pretty much ready to go once I assign it. And then kids, again, can just click the link and it goes straight to the quiz. Now, how do you get your responses? Let's go back to my form. And you see, I just took that quiz, so I already have a response here. I just click on the Responses tab, and it shows me my information. I've got one response, and I can see that obviously I'm the only one in the pie chart, but you could get a pie chart of how many kids got it correct and how many didn't, and it can show you which answers they chose. And it gives you detailed responses for each question. And of course, you can grade from this. If it's a straight up multiple choice, you'll be able to just see what each child got wrong and the score at the end. So it's really easy to do. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.